Our topic was attracting support for the Soviet Union from around 1933 to 1955. On November 16, 1933, the United States and the Soviet Union established diplomatic relations. President Franklin D. Roosevelt sent a telegram to the Soviet leader Maxim Litvinov expressing hope that the United States-Soviet relations would forever remain normal and friendly. On September 15, 1934, 30 delegates of the League of Nations addressed the Soviet government with a telegram inviting the Soviet Union to join the League and bring its valuable cooperation. The same day, the Soviet government replied by letter to the chairman of the assembly that it accepted the proposal for international cooperation. On May 2, 1935, France and the USSR concluded the Pact of Mutual Assistance. In the event that France or the USSR are subjected to the threat, the USSR and France should engage themselves reciprocally to proceed to an immediate mutual consultation on measures to take in order to observe the provisions. At the beginning of the existence of both states, their relation was bad. However, on May 16, 1935, the Czechoslovak-Soviet Treaty of Alliance was signed between the two states as a consequence of Soviet alliance with France, which was the Czechoslovak main ally. However, France did not support Czechoslovakia in 1938, having signed an economic agreement signed on August 19, 1939, provided that Germany would exchange manufactured goods for Soviet raw materials. Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union also signed a 10-year non-aggression pact on August 23, 1939, in which each signatory promised not to attack the other. The Soviet invasion of Poland was a Soviet military operation that started without a formal declaration of war on September 17, 1939. Germany greatly supported the Soviet Union decision of invading Poland. W. Averell Harriman and Lord Beaverbrook met with Joseph Stalin of the Soviet Union to give assurances that those two leading allies of World War I would aid and support the Soviet Union in the common fight against Nazi Germany. The Soviet-Japanese Neutrality Pact was a pact between the Soviet Union and the Empire of Japan signed on April 13, 1941, 2 years after the brief Soviet-Japanese border war in 1939. The pact was signed to ensure the neutrality between the Soviet Union and the Empire of Japan during World War II, in which both countries participated. A program under which the United States supplied Free France, United Kingdom, and the Republic of China, and later the USSR and other Allied nations with food, oil, and material between 1941 and August 1945. This included warships and warplanes along with other weaponry. The Grand Alliance was an alliance made during World War II which joined together the United States, Great Britain, and the Soviet Union. The Grand Alliance is often called the Strange Alliance because it united the world's greatest capitalist state, the greatest communist state, and the greatest colonial power. Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of Great Britain, W. Averell Harriman, Special Representative of the United States, and Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin discussed grand strategy, planned the North Africa campaign, and discussed the later landing and opening of a front in northern France. The Tehran Conference was a strategy meeting of Joseph Stalin, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and Winston Churchill from November 28 to December 1, 1943. The main outcome was the Western Allies' commitment to open a second front against Nazi Germany. Foreign ministers to the United States, the UK, and the Soviet Union discussed what measures needed to be taken in order to shorten and end the war with Germany and the Axis powers, as well as how to effectively collaborate and cooperate peacefully through this period marking the end of the war. The Yalta Conference was the World War II meeting of the heads of government of the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union for the purpose of discussing Europe's post-war reorganization. Yalta was the second of three wartime conferences among the Big Three. The Sino-Soviet Treaty of Friendship and Alliance is the treaty of alliance concluded between the People's Republic of China and the Soviet Union on February 14, 1950. By its terms, the Soviet Union recognized the People's Republic of China and recalled recognition of the Republic of China. Though not officially belligerent during the Korean War from 1950 to 1953, the Soviet Union played a significant covert role in the conflict. It provided material and medical services as well as Soviet pilots and aircraft, most notably MiG-15 fighter jets, to aid the North Korean Chinese forces. The Warsaw Pact was a collective defense treaty among 8 communist states of Central and Eastern Europe in existence during the Cold War, led by the USSR. The Warsaw Pact was in part a Soviet military reaction to the integration of West Germany into NATO in 1955, but was primarily Several years into World War II, Joseph Stalin demanded the immediate assistance of the Allied nations, believing, rightly so, that his nation bore the brunt of the war against Germany. Stalin realized that without help, Germany would triumph. In the immediate aftermath of the German invasion of the Soviet Union, neither Britain nor America were overeager to offer assistance to Stalin, though Churchill and the British immediately considered the Soviet Union an ally and promised some military and other assistance. However, the help promised was nothing like the scale that Stalin thought he either needed or deserved. President Roosevelt agreed to limited cooperation with Stalin, concluding that Nazi Germany was, in fact, far worse a threat than Communist Russia. In return, Stalin pledged his aid in the war against Japan once Germany had been defeated.